Hello, welcome back to Rhino's Den. I thought I'd just come to you today to give you my top tips on beginning strongman and hopefully last a bit longer in strongman. So basically, as you know, I've been competing in strongman 6 years now. Started at the bottom and got to Britain's Strongest Man 2020. So far, that's probably the biggest competition I've done, alongside with SCL. Competed some wonderful places in the world, very fortunate. So I thought I'd come to you and give you a little bit of how I started and maybe how it might work for you, and just basically some tips to see how moving forward you can improve and be the best version of you. My top tips for starting strongman. Firstly, enjoy it. Strongman is a very, very, very hard sport. It breaks your body down, it breaks you down mentally sometimes, but most of all you should try and enjoy it. It's not a second job, well it is for some of us, but when you're first starting out, it's a hobby. So make sure you enjoy it, try your best, and just basically give your all. My second tip would be find a gym with access to strongman kit if possible, because that will only help your improvement and make it quicker hopefully, and you're also training on the kit you need. It's alright going to a normal commercial gym and doing your deadlifts, obviously your shoulder pressing and your squats, but when you need to do events for strongman, you really need to train on the kit that you need, because otherwise you'll fall to the wayside and you'll just kind of struggle to progress, I guess. Or you can just travel to other gyms on a Saturday like I used to and train with that kit. Always good to train with other people and get their take on things. Another one of my tips would be get some great support gear. First of all, strongman as a hobby, you will obviously have a job. So, or maybe you have a job, I don't know. Yeah, so basically you have a job. So what I always found, I always want to be the sport the best I could be. So right now I use Tough Wraps, great quality kit. Feel very supported by them with their neoprenes and belts, but obviously there's other brands available if you choose to. I'm just giving you a rundown of what I use. Their neoprene sleeves and stuff have supported me now for nearly a year, and I wear them for training and competition. So far so good, not really many injuries. Yeah, just make sure you've got the stuff you need to support you really, because you don't want to be training on a Monday night, say, put in something and not be able to go work on a Tuesday, Wednesday and costing yourself and your family some money. So invest some sport gear, make sure it's good quality stuff rather than just the generic crap they sell on sort of eBay sometimes. Another top tip of mine would be get comfortable with being uncomfortable. As a strongman, you are literally always trying to break new ground, always move forward, and sometimes it hurts. It doesn't feel nice. You're doing movements or exercises you wouldn't necessarily have done before, and you're thinking to yourself, God, this is hard, I don't want to do this anymore. But really, you just got to get uncomfortable, be uncomfortable. Not everything's going to be a joy or a pleasure. You got to get stuck in, use some grit and determination, and try and fire on as best you can. So yeah, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Another top tip for me is, basically there's no perfect time to compete. You can stay there waiting on the sidelines training and getting no competition experience, or you can just pick a competition that you think might be alright for you, or may not necessarily be alright for you, and you might surprise yourself. I always found that getting in the deep end and getting on with it was better suited to me. So I started out, I picked a competition, I worked towards that competition, I ended up placing 11th out of 22 in a novice competition. So from where I started to where I am now, there's a massive, massive difference. But having said that, I think it was a better way of doing it, because I got on with the events, I could train most of the events were in the competition, and I think it just gave me that hunger to compete more, because you want to be the best you can be, you want to drive forward, and 11th out of 22 in a novice competition is probably a pretty shit result, to be honest. But I know moving forward that I was going to improve, and it made me want to improve and move forward. So just realise that there's never going to be a perfect competition for your first competition, but just try your hardest and you'll surely succeed. Technique is more important than adding weight. I believe that from the start, if you work on your technique and get a proper technique that suits your body, you'll be able to carry on and lift more weight in the future, rather than having to dial it all back and start over again. To do that, I would recommend getting a coach, one that probably suits your needs and is not just going to be a yes man and tells you how it is. So if you do something wrong, he's going to pull you up on it. So if you're working hard and he's drilling your technique, I think you've got less chance of hitting a plateau, rather than obviously struggling through and long strength and stuff up. Your progression will be more steady, and it'll just keep rising and rising and rising, rather than going up and down, up and down, up and down. Top tip, top tip, top tip, top tip. Right, the elephant in the room, literally elephant. What if you want to compete in open strongman? There is no need to go out and try and eat 5, 6, 7,000 calories a day at the start, because your body is not used to that. You need to find out what works for you first of all. There's nothing wrong with implementing a diet and trying to eat to kind of fuel your progression and fuel your training sessions, but I would advise tracking your food, what you're eating. I found out the hard way. I've kind of put on too much weight, currently sitting at 161.7 down from 165. I'm only 5'10", so that's a lot of weight for a small frame, well, small height. So now I'm trying to come back down. So I've started this diet, obviously, as most of you are aware, because I keep going on about it. Yeah, so putting on unnecessarily weight from the start will probably just hinder you in the future. I believe strongman now has moved to be a bit more mobile. It's not so static strength at the minute, so probably being a more reasonable weight and not just nailing McDonald's every 2 seconds and thinking you've got to eat all this stuff will probably help. Just gradual progression with that would be a lot better also. Yeah, I want to try and get down to 155 because I believe that's the weight where I'm most competitive, and I can still do me endurance events as well and also be strong. So I'm working down from that, so I've got to try and get a 10 kilogram loss hopefully before the next competition, but I don't want to lose it too fast. So yeah, don't rush to put on weight. It's not a necessity. Just try and train and compete at a level you're comfortable with first of all, and then slowly bring it up, progress. Strongman is not like a speed sport. It's not it's a marathon, not a sprint. So your progression, as long as you're steadily progressing all the time with putting on weight, if you want to put on weight, and training, it should go hand in hand really. Lastly, my parting tip of the day. This is probably the most important tip I could ever give you. It's one I've followed myself, and I think it's very important to kind of give this back. Social media. You're watching whatever people are lifting, you're kind of watching what your competition's lifting, you're going to get caught up in some sort of emotional thing or competitive spirit. Ultimately, this is what I'm going to tell you. You control your own destiny. You control your own results. If you put the hard work in and you believe that you can achieve anything, the results will come on their own. You can't control what someone else is doing in a competition. You can only control what you're doing. So my advice to you is bring the best version of you to every contest you can. Try your best. Leave everything there on the floor. There's no point in going back and having, well, if this happened and what if that happened, because it only ends up going in your own mind. Just endeavour to be the best you can be, and bring that to competition, bring that to your training. A lot of the times I compete with certain people, I just like their videos, I don't even watch them. That's a little secret I'm telling you, and they're obviously going to know now, but I don't even watch their videos, I just like them to make them think I watched them. I don't care what other people are doing, I can only control what I'm doing. So I work hard now to try and be the best version of me I can be. I want to come forward in the next competitions and prove a lot of people wrong, and prove myself right, that I do belong at the top table of strongman, and that I do want to go to World's Strongest Man, and that Ryan England's here to stay, and that's the end of it. So yeah, that's my advice to you, is just be you. You can't be anyone else. Just be the best version of you can, and just enjoy yourself. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed those tips. Thanks for coming and watching. As always, if you like them, like, share and subscribe. Take it easy. I hope everyone's enjoying the hot weather at the moment. It's currently going to be the hottest day of the year today, so I'm going to go out and get myself a tan. See you later.